Kembo natata Nzambi Yamanzulu Kinfumu Kiyakuyisa. Blessings, greeting, Mbote Nabino Bandeko. I'm Nabi Kefa. Welcome to another live broadcast. It has been a while. I was very busy. As some of you know, I went to Angola, not alone, but with my team. We had a wonderful time. And today, of course, we're gonna share our experience, what we are doing, and we're also gonna look into the, history. We're gonna do some study, and then we're gonna enter into the second portion of this live broadcast where we will talk about our experience. I am not alone. I'm joined by Byron, who is with me. He's also part of our team, part of Angola investment group team. Byron Mbote, how you are?
Mbote, I am doing good. Back in the land of my captivity. I wish I was still in Angola, but that's for a time to come. But I'm glad to be here with you live. Always enjoyed our conversations together.
Yeah, Ingeta, wonderful. So before we start, I'm asking all of you to like and share, and of course, go ahead and invite some people to join us at this moment. Yeah, so we're gonna wait for a minute or two before we go into our topics, what we want to share. And so go ahead, share with family members, friends, etc. Let them know that we are here, we are live. Nabi Kefa is back. I'm joined by Byron, and let's have a good time. Mhm. So, Byron,
Yes, sir.
there were elections in America. We
Yes.
know who won,
Uh-huh.
right? MAGA. Make America great again. Uh, he won.
Yes.
Trump.
Yes.
Trump won.
And might I say, you have been declaring that he was going to win
Hmm.
prior to the elections. And I thought it was stunning that you had predicted that he would win because all the matrices were pointing that Kamala Harris was going to win. And even there were some people who are supposed to be, quote unquote, prophets or prophetesses that had predicted a Kamala Harris win.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, they were wrong and you were right. And so, whatever the reasons were that you thought that Donald Trump would win, you stated so, and you were convinced that he was. And so said, so done. So, to me, it didn't matter who won because I knew that the conditions for Black people was not going to change, no matter who was at the helm. And in fact, Trump just announced that for any schools that is not protecting the the descendants of Ashkenaz and allows anti-Semitism to go on their campus, not anti-Black racism, not anti-Chinese hatred, not anti anybody else, but anti-Semitism will cause all these institutions to be punished by the federal government, having endowments removed and all kinds of things. And so, there again, for those who are gleefully cheering that Donald Trump won, it's not going to be much better for us. And even if Kamala had won, I don't think it would have been any better for us either because she supports that nation and what they are doing over there in the Middle East. So, yeah,
Yeah,
elections have consequences.
yeah. It's American politics. You
Mm-hmm.
need to support the synagogue of Satan if you want to have fundings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is, and it was his destiny to win.
Mm-hmm.
People say, how can you say that, Nabi? Yes, it was Trump's destiny to win. Okay, it was meant for him to win and to have rulership over the United States of America. Yes, and to influence his world, this world we're living in, because America is still, it still has hegemony, right, over the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's still putting a lot of influence out there, directing the course of the world. So he will do some good things, and he will also do some terrible things in the next 4 years. Yes, and what I foresee in the spiritual realm is that Mr. Trump will try to get Congo. Yes, he will try to get Congo. You know why? Because he has someone in his corner who needs the resources of Congo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, I digress. So if you're here, make sure to like, share, invite some friends as we start this live broadcast. Yes, I'm Nabi Kefa. I'm here with Byron, and we'll be talking about Angola in history, in the Bible, and then we're gonna look into our trip. We went to Angola last October for 2 weeks. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. Nice weather, not too hot. Of course, we enjoyed the food. We were busy every day. And if you don't know Angola, I'm inviting you join us next time. We do have an Angola investment group. That's our organization where we focus on being a bridge and a support for the diaspora who are looking into investing in Africa, in our case, Angola. We are also supporting anyone who wants to relocate. That's why we are building a diaspora community in Angola so that you can have a house there within a safe environment where you are with people who has the same mentality, same mindset, and who uphold the same quality of life. So we are building a diaspora community. We have purchased a huge piece of land for residential and for commercial purposes. We have that plot which serves our diaspora community that we are building now, not tomorrow, not in the future. We are doing this now. Okay. We talked with our architect, so we have the plans already. The how do you call that? The plans of the
Blueprints.
plots and infrastructure. Everything, it's all there. If you're interested, of course, let me know. Send an email to Angola Investment Group, info@angolainvestmentgroup.com. You can also visit our website, www.angolainvestmentgroup. Ingeta. So that's just an introduction because we're going to go into a study. We're going to study and see what the Bible says and what history says about Angola. What do our ancestors had to say about Angola, who we are? So we're going to start with Bai Kongila. I will not go into this out because this is a teaching on itself, but I will just take some things out of this that will help us, help me to set up a foundation so that we can go into what I want to discuss with you all today. Yeah, with Byron in my corner. So we'll be looking into Angola. What's the meaning of Angola? Where does the word Angola come from? And can we find the word Angola in the Bible? The answer is yes, we can find the word Angola in the Bible. But we have a council from one of our Nkunkulu, Mama Adele Fukiao, who wrote, everything that our eyes see has an origin. The origin, as our ancestors called it, muenetete, or the cause which preceded all that our eyes can see. The first cause is the creator, who is called Almighty God. Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo. The creator made the world, and afterwards all the other creature arose. That is to say, the world thus created, developed, and develops by the fact of the power and the force that created or breathed in, that the creator breathed in Muntu. In our tradition, when this European came to Congo, I forgot his name, but I forgot. It was a Frenchman. I forgot his name. He asked our ancestors. He asked one of our elders, "What is a muntu?" Now, that question can be answered in several ways. Okay, but in this instance, the elder said, "A muntu is a being of force." Okay, a muntu is a being of force within this body, which is just an appearance, lives a force. Okay, that's what a muntu is. That was his answer to this European missionary. Mama Adele Fukiao continues and she says, in your language, yes, what's our language? What is our language? Today we are speaking French, we're speaking Portuguese, we're speaking English, we're speaking Dutch, German, and many languages of the Ngoi, of the foreigners. But Mama Adele Fukiao says, in your languages, the languages of our ancestors, you will understand yourself better because it is the key to everything in your progress. Compare the truth of these words with those written by those who sought to know first the basis of their own history, of their own civilization. And she says that we have to go back to our elders and ancestors to question them about who we are. Is this something we're doing? No. The majority of us are doing what? Reading European books.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are not going to our elders. We're not going to the ancestors, right? The Bankulu. Ancestors are not just those who have passed, but also elders who are alive. Okay, Nkulu. Nkulu. So the word ancestor is of course English, but in Bantu, Nkulu is not just referring to a ancestor per se. It also refers to an elder one, right? An elder, one who is, of age and has accumulated the knowledge of the tribe and the community. That one is called Nkulu.
Mm.
Yeah? So go to them to question them about who we are. A wise one, Nkulu, knows the history of the tribes. He knows the histories of his people. If we don't go back to them, we will be deceived, and the foreigners, the Ngoi, will continue to deceive us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happening, Yabaran. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to our ancestors, going to the Bankulu, right, the elders, and to question them about who we are going to Kanyapemba Mundeles, and we are reading their books, right? As if they are our only counselors, right? We take counsel from them, and we quote all those mundeles who have written things, who have say things about us, and we are being deceived. Mm. So when we go back to them and turn to the language of our ancestors, in your own language, you will understand yourself better because it is the key to everything in your progress. Yeah, it's the key.
But doesn't the Bible say, Nabi, that he's going to turn the heart of the children to their fathers and the heart of the
Exactly.
fathers to their
Come on.
children? And in fact,
Mm,
I was listening to one of, I'm not sure if it was Joshua Mapungo, but he said that when we conclude our prayers, we don't just say I, but he says we, because we're acknowledging that we are a part of a continuum leading back to our ancestors. So we recognize them even in the way that we pray and conclude our prayers. I don't know if I'm stating it correctly, but I think it's in the Christian church we were never taught to revere our ancestors because they felt that it was paganistic to acknowledge them.
mm,
We never
mm,
worshiped them as they said, and maybe some did, but I know that it was not the tradition of the Africans to worship their ancestors as how we worship the Most High. But by acknowledging them, we acknowledge that they are a chain. And even in the scriptures, he says, I am the Elimo of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, referring to the
mm,
ancestors. So
mhm.
it's important that we embrace it because they are a part of who we are.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Byron, you said a limo. For those who don't know, where are you getting that from? Can it be directed back to the Bible?
Yes, in the we say Elohim when we are talking about God, but Elohim is a plural, but Elimo refers to a singular. And so, even though the Africans were accused of being polytheistic, but when you talk to any of the elders, who well, they will tell you, no, we only worship, we recognize, we acknowledge the one true, the Most High, Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo, but they also understand that they are lesser beings that
Hmm.
we call the gods. And the Bible even goes, it says, he standeth or in the congregation of the elves, and or he judges among the elves, the gods. And so sometimes we are afraid to say gods because people are going to perceive us as being polytheistic. But
Yes.
that's the whole distortion of what the concept of God or godness is. So that's the whole topic of discussion for another time. But that's why I use the
Mhm.
term Elimo to refer to the singular, the Most High, and not the Elohim, the lower or the lesser gods.
Yes, yes, yes. And Elohim is always in plural, right?
Hmm.
Because people will say like, "Yeah, Elohim, our God." What are you talking about? Elohim, our God. So you're actually saying the gods, our God.
Mm.
Yeah, if you translate it, you're saying the gods,
Mm.
our God.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Elohim is in the plural. Yes, the singular should be Eloha or El or Ella.
Mhm.
So in the Kikongo, those consonants L, E, L, M, which gives us Elimo, which Elohim will give us Elimo, which
Mhm.
means spirit or great spirit. Um, all right. So if you continue, so the counsel is turn to the language of your ancestors because the language of the ancestors holds the key.
Mhm.
Yes, holds the key in your progress. So if you want to progress, if you want to move and really know the secrets, we cannot neglect the language of our ancestors because the
Mhm.
language of our ancestors is the oldest language right now in the world. It's not the so-called Yiddish Hebrew, it's not Aramaic. No, it's the Kikongo, it's the Bantu language. Mbala Kikongo, right? The Mbala, which also means Hebrew. So the Paleo Hebrew, which is Mbala Kikongo, is the oldest language. Now, ancestors said it's the language of gods, the language of the angels. So we need to turn to our language, the language of our ancestors. It holds a lot of secrets. Now, there's a book which is called the Histoire de Loango Kakango. Yes, and it was written by Abbé Proyard. In this book, he says there is found in the language of the Negro, which is the Bantu. Remember, he's talking about Luango. Now, when you, yeah, Byron, look at this. When you rearrange the words, the letters which spell Luango, you can get Angola.
Angola. Yeah, I see it. Mhm,
You see it, eh? So you
mhm,
get Angola. And of course, Luango is Angola. And Congo. Ka also means the life force, the
mhm,
spirit, right? The vital life force or the spirit. The Ka in Egyptian hieroglyph is the symbol of a man with both hands up, which
mhm,
symbolizes the Ka, the spirit. In Bantu Kongo, it symbolizes the vital life force. So it's the power of Congo and the spirit of Congo, which is called Kakongo.
mhm,
Now, there is found in the language of the Negro Bantu Africans many words pretty much resembling Hebrew words, having the same signification. Now, he goes much deeper in his book, and he actually says that the language of the Africans is the same as the so-called biblical Hebrew language or the dead language, right? According to them. Because Yiddish is not the biblical Hebrew, it's also not ancient Hebrew or the Paleo Hebrew, the Hebrew of old. No, it's a mixture, it's a created language,
mhm.
which is called Yiddish. Dictionary of the Bible. It's a book, dictionary from 1901. 1901. The greater part of the Old Testament is written in the language called by the Assyrians the tongue of the West Country, by biblical writers the tongue of Canaan. Okay, the tongue of Canaan. Isaiah 1918, or Yehudit.
Hmm.
2 Kings 18:26 and 28, Nehemiah 13:24. You can verify that. So
Hmm.
this tongue of Canaan is called Yehudit. Now, by the rabbis, the sacred tongue or the language of the law. So the sacred tongue is a Canaanite. And so when you think Canaanite, you must think African.
Mhm.
Yeah. You see,
Because
yeah,
Canaan
Byron.
was the son of Ham, and Ham was acknowledged as being a black man. So,
Yeah,
which they're
Byron.
actually trying to change Ham now to be a white man because they can't get around it. That's why they're trying to change Egypt to be in a multiracial society because they
Okay.
cannot get around it. And
Aha.
Moses was trained in all the ways of the Egyptian. The Israelites, they should have Egyptian in their dialect if they spent
Mm.
that much amount of time in Egypt. So wherever you go, you pick up words from that particular place. So how is it that the Yiddish language has no Egyptian in their dialect, but it's a Germanic, Romanic, all Eastern European
Hmm.
language? But within
Exactly.
the Congo language, you will find in many of the African dialects, you will find loaner words from Egypt. You'll find loaner words from Aramean. You'll find loaner
Hmm.
because we were within all of those cultures. We were in Babylon. We were in Egypt. We were so there's a lot of things that is hidden from us that when you study the African language, these things start to come out, and that's why. Who was it that said we will catch the thief with what he's stolen? Because
Yes.
as more
Yes.
things are being revealed, you will see that this entire book we call the Bible was not about them. It was about our ancestors. And it's proven by the names. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves. And he said, I will restore to you a pure language that you
Hmm.
will call on the name of Tata Nzambi. So
Yes.
all
Yeah.
of these things are coming together as we learn the history of
Oh,
our people
yes.
and from the
Yeah,
ancestors.
Byron. So when we analyze the word restore,
Mm,
right? it means that either it's still there but corrupted,
Mm-hmm.
or it has been lost.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, when we look into the reality of things, we know that the language is still there, but
Mm-hmm.
also corrupted,
Mm-hmm.
and some of us have lost it.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be a grand restoration. So that is to say that the language that we are speaking now, for example, Lingala, when you speak Lingala, you have also a mixture of French in it because of colonization.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the French came, killed 20,000 with Leopold, and during the colonization, more thousands, millions, sorry, were killed.
Millions. I was about to say
Yeah, yeah,
millions.
not
Yeah.
thousands, millions. Yes, millions were killed. So I believe on the continent alone, if you add everything up, it's 100 plus millions of people,
Mm-hmm.
not lesser.
Mm-hmm.
100 plus millions were murdered extremely by the Mundele Kadiampemba,
Mm-hmm.
Bana Set, Bana or Bene Kadiampemba, the children of darkness. Yes. So the language, as we can read here in the dictionary, 1901. Can I zoom in? Let me see if I can. Yes, here, you see. 1901, the dictionary. We did not write this dictionary. It's also coming from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's from an American. But he writes that the greater part of the Old Testament is written in the language called by the Assyrians the tongue of the West Country, the tongue of Canaan, which is also called Yehudit. Now, Yehudit is African language, which is Kihunde, Kihunde in Bantu. Kihunde. Yehudit is Kihunde. I will not go into depth. I've done a video about this. It's on YouTube, so you can go and watch the video where I explain Kihunde. Yes, the language. Kihunde. Hunde is a ethnic group in Congo. Yes, Hunde is a Congo tribe today in DRC. Yehudit is Kihunde, African language. So we spoke the biblical Hebrew, which is called Mbala Kikongo. The Paleo Kikongo, the true Paleo Hebrew, is the Bantu language. Now, Tacitus, who was a Greek historian, he said that many assured us they, Israelites, were a race of Ethiopian origin. Yes, that is to say that they were black, Ethiopian origin. Now, Ethiopian or Ethiop is Greek.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Hebrew, biblical Hebrew equivalent is Kushi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kushi. So the true Israelites were Kushi. And according to many Greek historians, they were of Ethiopian race. Yes.
But Nabi, did not the Bible said that, are you not like the Ethiopians to me?
Yeah.
And we have to also remember that modern day Ethiopia is not what the ancient Ethiopia was. In fact, you had Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt being to the south, Lower Egypt being to the north, as the maps are oriented today. Then you had Upper Ethiopia and Lower Ethiopia, which was a large part of a continent. Even the Atlantic Ocean at one time, I think, was called the Ethiopian Sea, wasn't it? If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
that's right.
So, so we have to, once again, when we think of Ethiopia, we're not thinking about modern day
No,
Ethiopia, which is a little
no.
small part of the African continent. I just wanted to add that.
Mhm. I think in 1931, something around that time,
Mhm.
it was Haile Selassie who changed the name Abyssinia to Ethiopia.
Mhm.
Ethiopia actually, Kushi, it's Central Africa.
Mhm.
Central Africa, which we called Congo Kachopa. But in the olden days, Kushi, or Ethiopia, or Kushi, was actually also used for the whole of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the center, the heart of Africa, the heart of Kushi, the heart of Bena Kongo was always the DRC, the nation of DRC now. The heart of Africa is the center, which also called Kati or Kati Kati. So our ancestors also called Africa Congo Katiopa.
And by the way, that was also another son of Ham. So we've got Cush, or the Ethiopians. We've got Put, which is the Libyans. We've got Canaan, and then we've got Mithraim. And all of these were black people.
Yeah.
So, there
Yes.
again, knowing is understanding. I just wanted to add
Yes.
about
Yes. Yeah, Byron, the more you study history and the more you talk with our ancestors, yeah, man, people would think this guy's talking with dead people. The more you talk with our Bankulu, right, the
that.
elders, because ancestors in English really refers to dead ones, those
Mhm,
who went before you.
mhm,
But in Lingala, in Kikongo, in Zulu, when we say Nkulu, we're not just referring to those who have died. We are
mhm,
referring also to those who are living today, yes, who
mhm,
are called elders. So it's the same word, but it has many dimensions of meaning.
mhm,
Okay, that's why I said ancestors. But when you talk with the Nkulus, right, the elders, you listen to them, you hear the stories, and you do research into history. It's not into fantasy, not into religious beliefs, because sometimes religious beliefs are just that, beliefs. Yeah? They are not per se rooted in facts and
mhm,
historical facts, but they are just what they are, beliefs. But when
mhm,
you look into the actual history, yeah, and you listen to what the elders teach and say, you will come to the conclusion, yeah, Baron.
mhm,
You will start to doubt the whole premises in the Bible that tells you about Shem, Japheth, and Ham.
mhm,
Yeah, it's almost like for our ancestors, it does not exist.
mhm,
Yes, and there are rabbis in the Kabbalah, like Gadol Ha'ari. Yeah, he was one of the profound teachers of Kabbalah.
mhm,
Yeah, and he said that Noah just had two sons,
mhm,
Japheth and Ham.
mhm,
Yes, Kama or Kami. Japheth and Kami. And that Sem was actually a title.
mhm,
You hear me? Japheth was black. Ham, Kami was also black.
mhm,
And Shem was a title. Now, when you look up the word Shem, when you do the research, right, and you will see that Shem means uh, dignitary,
mhm.
or now we could actually let me go there. Let's go there. Let's look up Shem. You will see that Shem deals with a dignitary title, so Noah, according to the Bible, he had three sons. Now, some rabbis, oh, I'm not sure. Let me close this. Um, and share screen. Okay, we there, right?
Mhm.
We there. And the text says, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, when we look into Noah, son Shem, see that?
Mm-hmm.
Shem. Look, it means name. See?
Mm.
It means name, name,
That's
name,
like when they say
name.
Hashem, the
Yes,
name.
the name. Now, name alludes to reputation.
Mm.
Yes, name alludes to reputation. Let me see if we can find something here. Name. I regard this word. Now, do you know there's a verse in the Bible? I think in how do you call it? Ecclesiastes, that says a good name
Mm-hmm.
is better than gold and
Mm-hmm.
silver. Now, what is a good name? It means it deals with reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, reputation is the same as name, same as masculine. Now, look at this. See, name, reputation, fame, glory.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, glory. So, some of those rabbis say that Sem was a dignitary title, yes, for reputation and fame because the Most High chose one of the children of Kami, yes, to be the priests of the Most High. And that's where Shem comes in. Okay, Byron, let's test history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's test history. Now, when we go with this premise that Shem was actually Kami, right? Kami, the one they call Cush, a child of Cush, Kami. One of the children of Kami received the blessing or calling, vocation, right? To be the priest of the Most High, to teach the laws and commandments, of heaven to the people who received teachings from heaven, what we call makukumata, to the three foundational stones, which is the prophetic wisdom, right? The spiritual wisdom, the scientific wisdom, yes, and the political wisdom to build the nation. So those wisdoms were given to those people who were called Shem, who were the people of Kama. You see? Now, when we test history right now, if you want to divide Shem and Ham, where in history do you see the glory of those people who are Shemites, Israelites? In history, there is none. It exists only in the Bible. The greatness of Solomon, the great temple of Solomon, and all those histories, they exist only in the Bible. There is no convincing archaeological proof.
By the way, there's still debates amongst the scholar about the route of the Exodus, because according to them, they can find no archaeological evidence that thousands and thousands or even millions of people left from out of Kama, Egypt, and traveled along the Sinai Peninsula up into modern day, what they call Palestine, or they're calling the land of Canaan, up there in Northeast Africa. So, one thing that we always say is that by the mouth of two or more witnesses shall every word be established. But then we turn around and we get single sources or a single source, the Bible, and we say that it is unadulterated truth, though we cannot find any other historical perspective, archaeological perspective of some of the, I'm not talking about the minor events, but I'm talking about some of the major events that's in the Bible. But there's no other scholars outside the Bible, geologists outside the Bible, archaeologists outside the Bible that can confirm these things. So we're just
Exactly.
asking people to take things by faith in this in a book that was translated and translated and translated and things added and taken out of. And I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk down on the Bible, but I want people to understand that you have to, the Bible says, don't it says to prove all things? And doesn't it say to study to show yourself approved? And sometimes we think that only means study the Bible, but we have outside sources that we can also study. What did the writers of those days have to say, and where did they document some of these things that we see in the Bible? And that's why there are so many questions today as to the authenticity or the legitimacy of some of the things that was written in the text. And I'll leave it at that.
Yes. And so we must look into the heart of Africa, because the answer to all those questions is the heart of Africa. Why are Egyptologists, Europeans, up till today so possessed with African history? Yes. Why? Why are they continuously ever going deep digging in the grounds of Africa?
Because African history is biblical history and they know it. We don't know it. Even some of the Africans themselves don't know that your history parallels the stories of the Bible, because the names and the languages that they've been translated. And if you go to some of the tribes and said, you're an Israelite, they're going to say, we're not an Israelite, because in their language, they don't conceive that's an English word. And so, it's a strange twist, but the Bible did say that you will discontinue from your heritage. And so many of our people don't even know our own heritage is biblical heritage.
Yes. Well, when you go to Africa, Congo, Angola, and you ask them, where do you come from? What is your tribe? They will not say Benjamin. They will not say, Issachar. They will not say, Joseph or whatever tribe which is mentioned in the Bible. But they will say Luba. They will say Bakongo, Bangala. They will say Mbundu, Ofibundu, things like that. So that doesn't mean that they are not the Israelite the Bible speaks of. Yes. So there's something there to understand. And so we must ask ourselves if the biblical histories, right? Because some people say the Bible is a history book. If the biblical history is 100% correct, why is it that we have found the tomb, right, and the sarcophage of Tutmosis, Akhenaten, Ramses, right, and all those kings of Kemet, but where are the tombs of the biblical Solomon? Where are the tombs of the biblical David? Where are the tombs of the biblical prophets? They're nowhere to be found. Right? Nowhere to be found. What is this? That's why our ancestors said, stop listening to the Mundele Kadiampemba for a choir, as Job 8 verse 8 tells us. Now, some will say, hey, Menabi, if you are dissing that history, why are you reading the Bible, right? So why read the Bible if you don't believe the narrative brought to the Kadiampembas? Now, we read the Bible because we know that the Bible contains the works and words of our ancient prophets, but it's not the complete or holy work of God. But it contains the words of Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo, of the Nkunkulu, right? The Banabi. It contains the words, and therefore, Simon Kimbangu said, continue to read it, because by reading the Bible, you will catch the thief with the things he stole, right? So when you catch a thief with the object which you stole, what must he do? He must restore it, right? He must return it to you. And when you receive it, you will examine it to see if it's still intact. You take out everything which has been corrupted and you restore it. That's what we're doing today, because the scriptures were originally papyrus writings from our ancestors, which they took and compiled. They choose whatever they wanted. They compiled. They rewrote many things. They insert false legends into it, and then they present it to you as Biblia, collection of books. And they told you this is the holy work of God. If you don't abide by it, you go into hell for eternity. You will burn. Eternity. Last forever. Ever, ever, ever. That's a lie. So they wanted to control you by fear. But the Most High does not control people by fear. He is love. Yes. Fear is of the wicked one. So Job 8 gives us this counsel. For inquire, I pray thee. You can read it, Jabaron.
Job 8, verses 8 through 9 says, For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. For we were born yesterday and know nothing, because our days on earth are a shadow.
Yes, a shadow. You see? So the counsel here is inquire, right? Like we said, inquire, I pray thee, of the former age. Yes? And prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. So we must ask the fathers for the former age, because we don't know. We were born yesterday. Yes, we don't know, but they know. So we ask them. Now, who are the fathers in this case? Let's see. So Job 8, verse 8. Look at this. Let me go there first. Oh, wait, I have it here. And so, for inquire, I pray thee of the former age. Yes. And prepare thyself to the search of the Father. Now, look at this. It's interesting. Abotam. Beneath it, we have Ab, which also means father.
From the word Abba.
From the word Abba. Yes. Abotam. Now, when we look into the consonants, first we have the Aleph right here. And can you see it? Yes. First we have the Aleph. The Aleph, in this case, is silent because it is in front of the word. So the Aleph is silent. So what remains is the Bet, yes, the Fav, the Kaf, and the Mem, which give us Bukm. Yes. Now the M and N can be interchangeable. When we arrange the letters slightly, we get BMKU. Yes. Now in Bantu, we have Bamkulu. Yes, Bamkulu in Zulu. Those who speak Zulu Can confirm. Yeah. Bamkulu. In Kikongo, we have Bankulu, which is actually the same. Bankulu, which means ancestors or elders.
Mm.
Yes, ancestors or elders. So Job is actually saying, go to your elders, go to your ancestors. Now, can we speak with ancestors who are dead? Yes, they are called the living dead. They are called the illuminated ancestors. But Bankulu Balongo. The illuminated ancestors. What Jesus said in the book of Matthew and Luke, that those who die as righteous men will be equal to the angels. They become angels, and those angels are called mediators. In Bantu, Zulu, Congo tradition, Bantu tradition, it's the same thing. Those who die in righteousness become Bankulu Balongo, illuminated ancestors, mediator, aka angelos or angels. Yes. Oh, but Nabi, that's not right. Are you sure? So what do we see on the mountain of transfiguration in Matthew 17 with Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Do we not see the Bankulu, his ancestors in the Bible, who appeared to him, spoke with him, and encouraged him? Even in the book of Luke, we are told that an angel appeared who wasn't Bankulu, a Munkulu, and talk with him and encourage him. See, we have this in scripture, and it's not demonic. It's not, necromancy, because we do not die. We migrate, right? We migrate. We go back into the spiritual world.
But in the book of Revelation, Nabi, wasn't there an angel that appeared before John, and he bowed down to worship the angel, and he raised him up and says, "Don't do it, because I am of your fellow servants," or something. I might be misquoting it, but I think it was in the book of
Yes.
Revelation where he says, "I am like you. I am a
I am
fellow
of your
servant. I'm
brothers,
of your brother," or
fellow
something
servant
similar.
of the Lord.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. Yes. Now, when we take this same biblical Hebrew word exactly as it is, and we put it into Google Translation, yes, look what we get. It says their ancestors. Okay, it says their ancestors. So we are right. You see, so the Bantu, Zulu, and Kikongo, Bamkulu and Bankulu, which refers to ancestors, is the same. It's the same. The book of Deuteronomy also says, remember the days of old. We are always dealing with the days of old. As in here, former age, the days of old. Yes. So if we want to know the days of old, the former age, to know the history of our ancestors, we cannot just read European books, yes, to receive their counsel. We must start reading books of our own scholars, yes, African Bantu scholars, reading what they are saying, believing they're over the Mundele Kadiampemba. That's why we are messed up and always divided. Because even now, as people listening to what we are saying, they will say, no, Hamites are devils. Any Hamite is a devil. Now, Byron, the Most High is the Alpha and Omega, right? Everything that comes from the Most High. You actually have the law of first mention. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I actually have a problem with that, because Alpha and Omega are Greek words meaning the beginning and the end. But if we are to say that he is the beginning and the end, are we implying that he has a beginning and that he has an end? But then we can't
Yeah.
say he is eternal, having no beginning and having no ending, but yet
Yes.
saying he's the Alpha and the Omega. So are we talking about the Most High, or are we talking about the Creator?
Yeah.
So that's a question that I have.
That's a good point. That's a good
Mhm.
point. I actually did a study on that and a
Mhm.
teaching.
Mhm.
Yeah, so when they say he's the beginning and the end, it's actually a wrong translation.
Mhm.
Yes, he has no end.
Mhm.
It's a wrong translation, but it's a term that people know, and they say,
Mhm.
he's Alpha and Omega, beginning and end. It's actually he's the beginning and that what comes after.
Mhm.
Yes, that's the true understanding. He's the beginning and everything that comes after, because he knows no end. There is no end. End does not exist. Everything is eternal.
Mhm.
End does not exist. End is just the transition, right? Everything that comes to an end is just transitioning into a different realm of existence or a different state of being. There's actually no end.
Mhm.
Yeah, but anyway, if we go with the law of first mention, um, biblical scholars tell us everything that is mentioned first in scripture lays a foundation for everything that follows after.
Mhm.
Yes, and what will happen in the end. Okay, now everything mentioned first in scripture is in Africa. Everything is in Africa. Yes,
Mhm.
the river of life. Yes, Africa. The Garden Eden, Gan,
Mhm.
Africa, or Ghana, Africa. The first civilizations, Africa.
So
Summer,
the
right?
skeleton
People
remains.
came together. Summer, where people came together, is Africa. The first kingdom, which is the kingdom of Kushi, is Africa. So everything is Africa.
Mhm.
Everything. So that gives you the alpha in the beginning.
Mhm.
And everything that is the alpha in the beginning will also be um, omega in the end. Do
It's
you get
interesting.
me?
Yes.
Yeah? It will also be the omega.
Mhm.
That's it. So we must have our eyes on Africa, our mind on Africa, because that what was will be again.
Mhm.
We are going back.
But I talk about one of the signs given to Moses, Nabi, that when he was told to put his hand into his bosom,
Mm.
and when it came out, it became white and leprous, as white as snow. And then he was told to put his hand back into his bosom again. And when he took it back out, it became his normal color. So
Yeah,
whatever it was in the beginning is what's going to be in the end. Esau
exactly.
is the end of the world.
Hmm.
Jacob is the beginning of the world, which is
Yes.
to follow. And that would be, in the Bible says, world without end in one of the decalogues, I think it is. It says world without end. So which world are we talking about? So it's an interesting point that you brought up. Africa
Hmm.
is where the beginning of all life came from. All scholars will tell you, like they try to tell you it's outside of Africa, but most
It's not.
scholars will acknowledge that
Mm.
life began on the continent of Africa.
Hmm.
And so natural progression, the law of first causality, will mean that Africa's prominence will be at the end of what we consider world or life, so that's why it's important for us to now turn our eyes back to Africa. And that's what they're trying to keep us from doing, because they want to continue to plunder Africa, while we who were separated from Africa want nothing to do with Africa. But yet every time I go, the plane is full of Chinese. Every time I go, or if you're coming from the Netherlands, you're seeing a bunch of Europeans. They're all flooding into Africa. The so-called Ashkenazis, they're trying to go to the Western Cape to form a separate society, joining with the Boers to create a segregated society in Western Cape. The Indians are all there. The East Indians are there. But we in the diaspora are saying, we are ADOS, or we are descendants of slave, and America is our home. And you know, okay, well, fine, have at it. You can have this place, but I want where the land that was promised to my ancestors, and that is on the continent of Africa.
Exactly. And so I hope our brothers and sisters who are listening understand what we're saying. Yes, we're not here to confuse. We are here to enlighten, to speak on the truth. Coming into the understanding that the biblical Israelites were actually Africans. Yes, I said it. The biblical Israelites were actually African. Bana Kushi. Okay, Bana Kongo. Kongo Kachopa. They were actually African. Many will take offense, right? Many will take offense because we believe the notion what was presented by European theologians, right? That Shem, Yafet, and Ham were three complete different ethnic groups. One was Mundele Kadiampemba, one was Asian, and the other was African, right? So Noah gave birth to three ethnic groups. It doesn't make any sense. That's not scientific, right? That's nonsense. His children were black, okay? And Mundele Kadiampemba is a very young, I must be careful with my words, let me just say, a young race on the planet. The oldest, yes, is the black man. We are the ancient of days. That's who we are. So that's why we are told, remember the days of old, because we are the most ancient. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show you. Ask your elders, and they will tell you. So you need to ask your father. Tata. Tata. Who are we? I asked my father, Tata, who are we? Yes. And ask your elders. See, you have one father, but you have many elders. And ask your elders. The one will show you, the one will tell you. So it's your father's duty to show you. What will he show you? He will show you your blood, your bloodline, right? What they call you, Peggy, what do you say that?
Your pedigree.
List.
Your genealogy, your pedigree.
Yes, your pedigree. He will tell you, okay, you are my son, and I am the son of, the son of, the son of, the son of. And we came from, yes, and did this, the blessing in our tribe. So he will show you your lineage. From. And the elders will tell you story. They will tell you. So it's the father's duty to tell and show, as is of the elders. But we go to the European and ask them to show and tell. And the only thing they show and tell are lies. Those who colonize you will never tell you the truth. Those who rule over you will never reveal who you are. Okay. All right. Now, wait. Now, Yehudit in Kikongo or in Bantu, we can understand this in two ways. Or we can say it's Ki-Yahunde, or we can say Ki-Hunde. And the Hunde are a tribe in Congo. And that's the language, as we said. Where was it actually? Yes, and that's the language of Africa, of the Canaanites. Yes, and Canaan is Africa. Canaan is African. Even if you want to believe that the so-called land of Palestine used to be the land of the Canaanites, that geographic location was part of the great empire of Kemet, right? Egypt. So those people spoke a Bantu dialect or a Proto-Bantu language, which today is called the Bantu tongue, the Bantu languages. Okay, yeah, that's all for different lesson. Now let's go to Angola. Yes, Angola. Angola has been inhabited since the Paleolithic age. After the Bantu expansion reached the region, states were formed and organized into confederations. The Kingdom of Kongo ascended to achieve hegemony among the other kingdoms. Portuguese explorers established relations with Mbanza Congo around 1483 CE. To the south were the kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba, with the Ofimbundu kingdoms further south and the Buganda kingdom in the east. Now, those who have read the book called From Babylon to Timbuktu will recognize, I'm talking about this book here, From Babylon to Timbuktu, they will recognize that the Ofimbundu in this book by Rudolf Winsler are called Jews. Yes, they are called Jews. Now, these are the Jews of Angola. Yes, the Black Portuguese were also Jews of Angola. Let me read this. I will read from this book. Okay, maybe it's better to make a picture. Let me just read. It's quicker. This is from page 127. The Black Jews of Angola. Wait a minute. I think. Oh no, I don't. I have it somewhere, but it's not on this. No, it's not on this one. The Black Jews of Angola. In the country called the Gaboni, the Congo, they were Black Jews known as the Bafumbu. Some writers call them by various names such as Mafambo or Mayomba. Now, the Mayomba and the Bafumbu are not the same, but I can tell you that. They are separate Bantu tribes. And Mafumbu. Let's see. Abe Poyart, yes, Abe Poyart, who is the writer of this book here. Yes, of this book, the Histoire de l'Ouangweka Congo, that Abe Poyart, a French writer, says that these Jews held the coast of Loango between the Congo River and the Rio Muni in Gabon. In 1776, the country began about 60 miles from the coast and extended north from the Congo about 200 miles. In appearance, these Black Jews are hardly distinguished from the other Africans. It's talking about the Jews of Angola, right? The Congo people. He's talking about the Congo people. So in appearance, they are the same. It has been reported that these Jews practice some divination and magic like native Africans. Imagine that. However, they observe some Jewish ceremonies and live in separate communities, not considering themselves native Africans. And I'm not sure if Rudolf Windsor was, yeah, it's a good book, it's a good book, good read, but the true ancient Israelites or Yehudim are actually native Africans. They are Africans. What does it mean to be native African? It means that you are from there, from that land, yeah, from that soil. They are native Africans. The ancestors were born there, they grew up there, and from there they migrate to different areas, went out, came back, etc. But we are, let's see, the villages of these Jews are situated along the Luango coast for more than 100 miles, even south of the Congo River. Goodbay writes that when they are interrogated in regard to their origin, some of these Jews said they migrated from the south, probably from Angola, talking about the people in Luango and the region of Congo. They migrated from the south, and that's true, yeah, because many Congo people have the history that they came from the south. So they migrated from Angola into Congo, Bantu Congo, and then you pass the river, you enter into DRC and Republic of Congo. That's a fact. Yeah, so they say these Jews, they migrated from the south, probably from Congo. Some from the north, probably from Nigeria. Some from other side of the mountains, perhaps Ethiopia. So they also came from northeast, which is present-day Ethiopia. And that's also a fact of Bantu migration, according to our tradition. Like the Portuguese Jews, the Bafumbu Jews were very active in commerce. The Jews of Angola, yeah, that's what they call them, the Jews of Angola. These black Jews were active in commerce, eager to learn, and possessed much knowledge of Portuguese history and law. Let me stop there. Interesting. So it's from the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, which many Hebrew Israelites know, but they never speak about the Bafumbu Jews in Angola and Congo like we do, because it is written in here in this, but I think they neglect it because they have a different perspective. So to go back, the kingdom, yes, we had that one. So the king of Ndongo was called Ngola. The king of Ndongo was called Ngola, or Angola, the A being a perfect article for his excellency. Yeah, Angola or Ango. Yes, Ango, which also gives us the Ankh. Yes, the Ankh, which is the symbol of life and vitality, leadership. And so Angola or Ango also means force of life, and was subject to the king of Congo. Yeah, the king of Angola was subject to the king of Congo, the ntotila, and we can compare the latter to an emperor. So the king of Congo was an emperor. Angola, the king of Ndongo. Oh, wait a minute, that's double. The word Angola or Nkola, that's in the Zulu. People from the south, the Zulu, Shona, they also know Angola as Kola, or Kula with a U. And so the word Angola or Kola can mean different things. Why did our ancestors name this land by that name? That's the question. Now, by reading Jeremiah, Yilimaya, let's go there. Yilimaya 28, let's start with Jeremiah 28 verse. Let me open up another tab. Yes. Look at this. Let me put Jeremiah. Yes. Okay. Even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen. The Lord, which is Yudah, Kongo, do so. The Lord perform thy words which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of the Lord's house, and all that is carried away captive. Take note of the word captive. Yes, from Babylon into this place. Yes. Take note of that word captive now. Let's also read from Jeremiah 29. Now, these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captive. Now, take note of that word captive again. And to the priest and to the prophet and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captives from Jerusalem to Babylon. Okay, captive, exile. So they were taken captive. So when they were taken captive, they retained that name as they went. Okay, and we will explain, of course. They retain it, the name. Remember, our ancestors also called their children by circumstances, right? So when a certain circumstances happen in their life, good or bad, they called a child by the name. Like Joseph did, like Jacob did, when he called his son Ben-Omi, son of suffering.
But even the four women that Jacob had children with, they would name their children after that particular circumstance. Perhaps the Lord will now, my husband will now love me because I've given him four children, and she named that child after that circumstance. So yeah, that's a part of the African traditions, if I'm not mistaken, that you don't just name a child. The name has to have significance, whether connected to the ancestor in some way or connected to a particular circumstance. But a name is not like how we do in America. We just give our child a name, because names are very powerful in what you name your child. That's why when Adam named the animals, it's a testimony of how intelligent he was, because names give life or meaning. As you mentioned when you did the study on Shem, that name it can be very powerful.
Yes, it is. And verse 22. Can you read verse 22?
And of them shall be taken up a curse by all the captivity of Judah, which are in Babylon, saying, Yah make thee like Zedekiah and like Ahab, whom the king of Babylon roasted in the fire.
Yes. Once again, take note of the word captive. So Jeremiah is prophesying to whom? To the kingdom or house of Judah, right? Yes. So he's talking with Judeans, and he's telling them, you will go into captivity in Babylon. So now when we go to the word Angola or Nkola, we can answer the question, why did our ancestors name this land or, themselves by that name, Angola? Now, by reading Jeremiah, it's not Nabs. The Nabi explains that the Judeans in exile were called Angola. Yes, they were called Angola. Angola. In exile. So in Babylon, they were called Angola. And there is proof that they retained that name. Even when they returned, even when they came back, they were still called Angola. Now here.
By
We
the way,
have,
there are ancient maps, Nabi, that shows Babylon on the continent of Africa. But once again, they changed it to try to put Babylon over in the Middle East somewhere or in Saudi Arabia. And they do all of these things to trick us, just like they put the rivers over the river, Ethiopian River, and the other ones over there in Saudi Arabia. But they cannot explain how the Nile, being one of the rivers that was described in the Bible, is in Africa, but these other two rivers are in the Middle East or Saudi Arabia. It's
yes,
all a trickery to get us to take our minds off the continent.
yes, that's true. That's true. I have seen the maps. I don't have it here,
Mhm.
but I have seen it. Even Sumer is in Africa.
And Sumer, yes.
Yes, Sumer,
Mhm.
Sumer is in Africa. It's the Nile Valley. People gathered there. It's not in Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia, even the
Yes,
land of Ur of the Chaldeans, that
yes,
was in Africa.
it's all in Africa. They deceived the whole world.
Mhm.
Okay. Now Angola, as we see, Angola, which is Ngol, the H or the letter Hey is silent, silence. So you will get Gamel, Pav, and Lamer, which gives us Gol, which is Angola.
Mm.
Yes, which is Angola. Now, captivity, it's translated as captivity 26 times by the King James. Carry away 7 times, removing twice, and etc. So it means to be exiled or go into captivity.
Oh.
It also means one immigrating a company of exiles. Yeah, as we can see here, Nun, feminine, exile, etc. A lot of biblical references are there. To be carried away. Yes, to be carried away or to go into captivity or to be removed. Yes, to be removed from your land, to be carried away. That's what it means. Angola. That's the meaning of Angola. So you can see.
Oh, by the way, Nabi, brother Mike had mentioned about he's from the Gula Gucci people, and I'm curious as to the word Gula is connected to Gola, or is that a mispronunciation or a mistranslation of Gola to Gula? Because we know,
Well, let's see.
okay,
Let's see. Now, Angola means captivity, exile, or captive journey, migration, or to be carried away. It
mhm,
takes its origin from the verb kula or ngula.
mhm,
There you have your answer.
mhm,
Okay,
Gula
so
Gucci.
ngula is the same. It's the same as
Mhm,
ngula with double H. It's the same spelling. Okay,
mhm,
and in Bala Hebrew Kikongo, it means to drive out or to exile. Now, when you look into the Hebrew, the letter Vav in Paleo Mbala, which is Paleo Kikongo, has the sound of either a O or a U.
Mhm.
And Gimel, the Hebrew Gimel, which is a G, can have the sound of K, right?
Mhm.
Of Kaf. Hence, this word can be read either as Ngola or Kola, Ngula or Kula, or with the N in front of it, the nasal Ngola or Nkula, Ngula, Nkula. But in essence, they are the same.
Mhm.
So that's Angola in the Bible. And there is a King Bungane, I think the third,
Mhm.
explained also that the Zulu people came from Kola, right?
Mhm.
Kola, which is Angola. They came from Kola. So he has the knowledge that the Zulu are part of the greater Congo kingdom.
Mhm.
Yes, we are one people. The European divided us by lies, by writing lies, telling lies, preaching lies, and etc. But we are actually one people. The Bantu are one people. We are the so-called Israelites the Bible speaks of. Okay? We are those people. But what you read in the Bible is not 100% the historical truth as it existed. Okay? Many things in there are just myths, um, invented stories, but we know who we are.
Mhm.
Why? Why do we know who we are? Because we are taking heed to um, where is it? To the council.
Mhm.
Taking heed to the council. Choir. Okay. Remember the days of old. How can we remember? Because I wasn't there when those things happened. But by asking our fathers and by asking our elders, they show and tell. Wonderful. So they show and tell. The three dominant tribes in Angola, in the land of Angola, are the Ofimbundu, the Mbundu, better called Ambundu, speaking Kimbundu, and the Congo people. Yes, and the Congo people. So you have the Ofimbundu and the Bundu and the Bakongo. Yes, the Bakongo. Now I'm from the Bakongo. In the Bakongo, they were the kings and rulers. So I'm a king, I'm a prince. No, I'm not a prince anymore. I grew up. I'm a king.
King status now.
I'm King Nabi Kefa. Yes, I'm King Nabi Kefa. And so the Bakongo were those who had rulership. Yes, dignitary ones, the judges, great people of wisdom, understanding, and etc. Because in the Bantu history, tradition, all the tribes had their own gifts. Okay, they had their own gifts and vocation as a tribe, not as individuals, as a tribe.
Mhm.
And some tribes were warrior tribes. Yes, some tribes were, how do you say that? Those who,
Prophets, some with prophets,
yeah, those who work with wood and things like that, who do construction,
carpenters.
carpenters,
Mhm.
those who work with iron,
Mhm.
smiths,
Mhm.
things like that. And other tribes, from them came the kings, the dignitaries, the priests. Understand? All the tribes were specialized in astrology, in
Mhm.
reading the signs of the times, like the Issachars, the
Mhm.
children of Issachar. That's the reality. It's not just something you read in the Bible, that's the actual reality of Bantu history, culture, and tradition. It's amazing. Now we have a map with some overview where the concentration is of the tribes, all the tribes who are found in Angola. So we have in the northern part, you can find the Congo. This was the region where the Kingdom of Congo. Now, let me say that the capital of the Kingdom of Congo, the Empire of Congo, was located. It was in this area. As you can see, it's the Congo, right? It's the Bakongo area.
Hmm.
In that northern part was the capital of the empire, which it was called Banza Congo. Yes, and then we have the Bundu people and the Ofimbundu in the west center of Angola. In Luanda, as you see, the majority is Kimbundu, and that's true. When you go to Angola and you are in Luanda, many of the people there are Kimbundu.
Hmm.
Many, many. But when you go to the northern part, it's Bakongo. We have the Chokwe, small here group in the southern part. Namibi, you have the Herero, and we have small pockets of the Khoisan in the southern part of Angola. Yes, a small pocket of Khoisan. Yes, Khoisan. All right. Now, I don't know if there are any questions concerning what we shared thus far, because I'm done with my Angola part. Mm.
Well, there was as we get into the transition to talking about our trip to Angola, someone had asked about those in the diaspora, particular America, that said that why should we leave? We have helped to build America. Our ancestors built America,
Hmm.
and why should we leave that? Basically, um, we are, of course, people who are grown can do whatever they want to. If you believe in biblical prophecies, that the things that America has done across this world, and not just America, but those who are her allies, these people, these palm-colored people, they've left a trail of bloodshed and destruction, thievery, some of the most atrocious things done to our people was done here in this place that we call the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yes, we did build this country, our ancestors. And in fact, not all of our ancestors came here as slaves because we were traveling the oceans long before the Mundele was. And so that's why you will find relics of our ancestors all throughout the world. But the reality is that judgment is coming to this place that we call America. I know there are disputes about people who think that the land of or Babylon the Great is the Catholic Church and all of these things. But I maintain that this place that we call America is the biblical daughter of Babylon or Babylon the Great. I see a combination of most of the wickedness. I see Sodom and Gomorrah here in America. I see Egypt here in America. I see Babylon here in America. And so, if we believe that this nation is under judgment for the wickedness that they have done throughout this world, and if we believe that the Bible is true, that Babylon the Great will fall, then if I know that I'm on a sinking ship, why am I going to stay here? Especially when I have options. That's just one point about it. And we see the rumblings of war that's going on right now as Biden on his way out has authorized Ukraine to use long range missiles. And they've already started doing so amidst the warning from Vladimir Putin that any country that allows their weaponry to be used to attack my country, I'm going to see it as an act of war. And so, what does that really mean? People are saying he's bluffing, he doesn't mean it. Well, they said that when he cautioned about Ukraine joining NATO. So if America is going to be judged, then why would I want to stay here when I have alternatives? And the Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, and this is where I believe many people are going to get caught. As it was in the days of Noah, people are going to be going about their business. They're not going to be listening to the warnings that's been issued. And so when all hell breaks loose, when the calamity comes, many people are going to be caught without a means of getting out. All we're saying to people is you need to come outside of your mindset, your Eurocentric mindset. Yes, America has helped us to elevate our lives, but it's because of what we did. America was built on the backs of our ancestors. Yes, America is the nation that she is because we drove the Industrial Revolution. Cotton drove the Industrial Revolution. Sugar drove the Industrial Revolution. So our people drove the Industrial Revolution for many of these countries. And without Africa and the Africans, none of these places would be in the glory that they are in now. But that glory is changing, and the wind of change is turning the focus back to Africa. Even world-class economists are saying that within the next, by 2050, Africa is going to be a booming economic country because it has a fast, very fertile population, who are the majority of which is less than, I think the term is 70%. It's going to be less than young people, less than, say, the 30s or 40s. Young people. While all these other nations, their people are dying out. In Japan, I read a story that for 3 months, they did not have a live birth. I saw the same thing happen in Italy, where for months there wasn't a live birth. So they are not replacing themselves as fast as they are dying. But the African continent, the people are growing. By 2050, it's estimated to be a population of 2.4 billion people. And so that is a market that is an incredible market. It's an incredible opportunity. So I just wanted to kind of segue into our next part to the brother, and we'll get into more reasons why we think that you should, if you can, start making your plans to leave and to relocate, because the Africa of the future is in my opinion, is going to be the next economic powerhouse. China is right now in many respects, but Africa in general, I believe, is going to be the next economic world superpower.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And there's a question there, or a remark. A lot of the BHI teachers, what's your BHI teachers? Hebrew Israelites?
Black Hebrew Israelites, I guess.
Black Hebrew Israelite
Mhm.
teachers are actively discouraging the congregants not to go to Africa, not in capital letters. Yes, we have come across some teachers who are actually saying that. Don't go to Africa. Yeah, so if we say don't go to Africa, where must we go then? Where? Where is our home? Where is our place? If not Africa? Yeah, Byron. Yeah? Well, where must we go? To Russia? to Netanyahu? Well, where must we go? Africa is the promised land. Africa is our home. Okay? Our home. Our ancestors, the so-called Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and all those people, they were Africans. The true identity of those people is African. Yes, Bantu African. We have always been on the continent. And like I said, Africa is the Alpha, and it will be the Omega at the end of the empire, at the end of the rule of Esau. It will be the Omega. Okay? So Africa is the only way to go. That's it. There is no other country or place. That tiny land of so-called the state of Israel today, or Palestine, that's not able to hold billions of people. That's not able. In Angola alone, the population of Angola alone is around 36 million. Yes, 36 million, and it grows around 3% per year. That is to say that per year we have a million added to the Angolan population. Yeah? A million plus every year, brother. And when we take into account that we have millions more in America, millions in Brazil,
Brazil, yeah.
millions in Asia, you know, all over the world. If we choose to come back, when we are gathered, yeah, how can we be able to fit in the tiny land called Palestine or State of Israel? It will not. Even if they choose to extend it, it will not fit. The only place is to go back to the true promised land, the land of Canaan, the land of Cam, which is Sub-Saharan Africa. Go back to Angola, Congo, Mozambique, Namibia, and all Kenya, if you want. Go back to those regions because those are the Bantu territories. We are in Angola, so we will say, come to Angola. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the Antichrist? The Antichrist is there. He wears a cap with white letters on it. MAGA. Huh? MAGA. So when you see a man with a cap, MAGA on it, it's the Antichrist. No, I'm just kidding, because every time a new American president is elected, people say he's the Antichrist. Yeah, so Bush was the Antichrist. Barack Obama was the Antichrist. Trump was the Antichrist. Biden was too sleepy to be the Antichrist, so they skipped him. Yeah.
But I like what Chris said, that we've been taught to accept the shiny nickel over the dirty dime. You're right, Chris. They have demonized all things African. They have done everything that they could to discourage people from traveling to Africa. And I will admit that I was one of those who have traveled all around the world, and Africa was not even on my radar. But when I came into the knowledge of who I am, then Africa became a place that I had to go and visit. And in my visiting Africa, it gave me a whole different perspective on what Africa has to offer. Understanding this, that America has reached its pinnacle. America has, we basically sold the country down the road, down the river, because it was America and the greed of America that destroyed the middle class. They sent all of our manufacturing overseas where the labor is cheap, so that they can exploit the cheap labor and build up the American economy. But when you have no middle class, that's the driving force behind the economy. That's why every year they have to increase the budget. We are so in debt in America that they say the only way to eliminate the debt is to start another war, to go into another war. And so when you look at the African continent, that it's because of the mineral wealth that have been exploited by the Europeans for hundreds of years that have driven their empire. Belgium would not be Belgium had it not been for the rubber from the Congo.
Mm-hmm.
Europe or London, the British, their empires was driven by what they got from our ancestors, free labor, building up the Caribbeans and so on. Brazil. That's everywhere you go, it's either built. All these countries that we considered world-class empires right now, they've gotten their wealth from either the free labor of the Africans or the mineral wealth that they've been stealing and plundering from the continent of Africa. Africa has been their shopping cart. And
Yes.
we talk. The reason why Africa is so divided now was because of the Berlin Conference of 1884 and 1885 that created all these artificial boundaries between the African country, gave us all these different languages. That's why some speak in Portuguese, some speak in Spanish, some speak in French, some speak in English, because of all of the colonization and the chopping up of Africa to keep Africa separated. And now there's a new scramble for Africa going on. Many of you may not be aware of it because they don't publicize this in the United States. In fact, there was one professor that says that they need to keep Africa poor so that they can continue to exploit the resources. But I believe that there is much more beneath the soil of Africa than they were able to plunder throughout all the years that they've been doing it. I just read a recent report that there was a landslide, I forget in which country, but after the landslide, they found copper, tons and tons and tons of metric tons
I
of
think it
copper.
was Congo.
Was it in Congo? Yes,
Yeah.
copper.
Congo.
Every mineral that's described in the Bible is there in Africa. It says you can dig iron from its mountain. Where we were in Angola, the soil is that red color. As you're traveling, you're going to see this red color soil. That means it's rich in iron. There are places that's rich in gold, places that's rich in diamonds, uranium, cobalt, coltan, you name it, and it is there in the continent of Africa. But yet, and not just the minerals, but the animals that's described in the Bible, the flora, the fauna, everything that's described in the Bible is still on the continent today. So people can make up their mind. You want to stay here and wait until the fall of this country, because it's not a matter of if. According to many world-class economists, America is on an unsustainable path. And bringing Donald Trump in is not going to change that, because according to biblical prophecies, America is under judgment. So that's a bad combination for this place. I'm not saying that it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next 5 years, but I don't want to be here when it does happen. And trust me, you think your savings account, your pensions, and all of these things are safe. If the economy collapses, then where are you going to go? You think you're going to go to the bank and they're going to be forced to give you back your money? You think you're going to go to the government and they're going to be forced to give you back your 401k? Many of your accounts are only insured up to $200,000. Okay, if you've got $1 million in the bank, if you're FDIC insured, you're only guaranteed $200,000. Maybe if you're a couple, $400,000, and the rest just poof, it's gone. So you can decide. Nobody is forcing anyone to move to Africa. If the Spirit calls you, and if wisdom tells you that it's better to get off of a sinking ship while you can than to wait till there's no more room in the life preservers. All of them are gone. Now you're left stranded. It's just like in Florida when the hurricanes are coming. There's a lot of people who sit back and say, "No, it's not going to hit. It's not going to hit. It's not going to hit." And when they finally say it's going to hit, people go running and scrambling. When they get to the stores, all the shelves are empty. So don't find yourself in that situation. What we're trying to do is to show you that you have alternatives. Take the opportunity to go and visit for yourself, and you will see what I have seen in my couple of trips there. You will see also when you're on the plane that these other nations are not afraid to go into Africa. The Chinese are not afraid to go into Africa, and they're coming there with their biases and their prejudices. But yet here we are in the diaspora that we're running scared or saying, I don't want nothing to do with Africa. That is the land that was promised to your forefathers. And if you believe in prophecies, the Bible said that he is going to return us to the land of our forefathers, the land of our inheritance. And I believe that is Africa. So, Nabi, I know we want to go into some of the trips, the highlights of the trip. So, yeah.
Yes. Let me answer this question very quick. When is Angola giving my U.S. brothers their citizenship? That's a good question. You know, when are you planning to invest in Angola? When are you planning to do anything in Angola? To start a small business, you know, buy a plot, build a house. When you're ready to do all of those things, then we can talk about that, because we do have a plan, set up a strategy that when you work with us, you invest with us in our diaspora community, you start a small business. That's where we are working. Um, that's what we are working to get you residentship. It's a process, but you need to start by visiting Angola. Yes, investing with us. Either you buy a plot within our community or you start a small business. We promote, we actually advise to follow the strategy that we have put in place. So that will guarantee you at the end to have citizenship. You know, that's it. But don't sit there and say, "Oh, I will just sit here and do nothing, just wait until the Angola government decides that everyone from the diaspora will just get a citizenship." It doesn't work like that. What are you bringing, right? What are you willing to do to work? It's always an exchange. So we must do something. We have this mindset that we can just sit and relax and everything will just be given to us. That's also called laziness. So we need to stand up, do something. And when we do, the Most High said, I will bless the works of your hand. So let's work.
Just to add to that, Nabi, recently I saw where Ghana gave citizenship to, I think it was 500 diasporans. Now, it was self-serving for Ghana, because Ghana's economy is having problems. And
Mhm.
they know that with the diasporans comes millions of dollars. They made millions of dollars on the year of return and millions of dollars on the second one. I forget what it was called. And then COVID came and basically kind of kiboshed that. But we bring value to wherever we go. And I think that there are governments who understand that. We've learned skills in the diaspora. Some of us are highly educated, and we can bring those tools that we've learned to help to build the Africa of the future. And I do believe that there are going to be more countries that are going to open up the pathway to citizenship for the diasporans, because it's sorely needed. But sometimes things work very slow. I found out in Africa, some things are fast, but other things are a process that it can be painfully slow. But the bottom line is to get started. Every journey begins with a single step, and you will be first in line if you have property that you bought, you have businesses that you've started. Then you will be. It's easier to get your citizenship from that than just sitting around and waiting to say that they're going to throw the gates open and anybody who's in the diaspora can come and be a part of it. So that is my experience so far, is that I'm thinking that the leadership and the younger ones that are coming in are seeing the benefits of having the diasporans return, and they're making it easier. And right now, Ghana has no, I mean, not Ghana, but Angola has no visa requirement. And so on my 2 trips, I had no problems passing through customs. I didn't even, because of my age, didn't have to get the yellow fever vaccine. But they still let me come through with no problem. So that's a step in the right direction. And I believe that there's going to be more changes in the very near future.
Yes, Ingeta. And so for Tatiana Correa, you can email to info@angolainvestmentgroup.com. I don't remember receiving your email. Otherwise, I would have responded. I always respond, sooner or later. But email me at Angola, or email us at Angola info@angolainvestmentgroup.com, and we will respond to your email. And now you can also plan or schedule a consultation so we can discuss whatever you want to do, your wishes, your plans, and give you counsel. Now let me share. So this is our website. Yes, you can now visit it. It's angolainvestmentgroup.com. You can go and read about our organization. And yeah, Byron is part of this organization. So we are here in together. We do land acquisition, yes, real estate investment. We also do business establishment, and we help and assist you in all administrative procedures. So when you work with us, we will be your partner in everything you want to do. So you will never be alone. You're not left there to figure things out by yourself. You'll be a member of AIG, and we will assist you in whatever you want to do. But we are building a diaspora community, okay? So you can join us in our diaspora community. We are continually buying more and more land so we can, extend, extend because we need more. At this moment, one of our partners, what you will see also on the screen later on, has a project of 100 hectare for development. His name is Victor. 100 hectare. Now, in the area that we are in Angola, near the new international airport, we have 10 hectare that we are developing. We already have the layouts and everything. Yes, from the architecture, the layouts of the infrastructure and plot divisions. So if you're interested in being part of what we're doing, building diaspora community, and together we will be building the Angola of the future. So, email us, be part of this, as it is written in the book of Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah 32, talking about the captivity, right? What's the word for captive? Angola. Yes, that's the word, right? Angola. Jeremiah 32, verse 44. Man shall buy fields for money. It's not saying by faith, through prayer. It says, man shall buy fields for money. That's how the world works. It's a transaction. And subscribe evidences. Our ancestors bought land. It's a normal thing. Some people will say it's not biblical, it's not of Yah, things like that. But Jacob bought land, Abraham bought land, the prophets bought land, and Jeremiah is telling the Judeans here to buy land. He said, buy fields, which is land, for money. Fields, it's we have seen fields in Angola, fields, and subscribe evidence and seal them and take witnesses. What we have done also in Angola, there were witnesses in the land of Benjamin, which is part of Judah, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, and in the cities of the mountains. Angola is surrounded by mountains, people. Beautiful. As we were driving to Wambo, from Luanda to Wambo, we were surrounded from both sides, left and right. Mountains. Yes, for miles. Just mountains, mountains. It was amazing. Amazing. What was your experience, Byron? The trip. Have you seen those mountains? Were you
Oh
sleeping?
yeah. No. I've gotten some pictures that I've taken also of the mountains, and there's just so much land out there that's just laying unoccupied, underutilized land, beachfront property that's just bushes. It's where the needs are greatest is the greatest opportunities. And I can tell you that everywhere we travel, I'm just seeing opportunities, 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 opportunities. And just to address a comment of by Ancient of Days, mentioning about Pastor Mello. Now, I don't know anything about that, and this group is not Pastor Mello. We
Yes.
stand on our own merits, and many people
Exactly.
have invested with people without their due diligence and have been burnt. And it's happening in Ghana. It's happened all over Africa. If you don't know who you're dealing with and you don't do your due diligence, yes, you can end up losing money. And that's why we encourage all of us. Before I invested in my plot, I had to go to Africa, meet up with Nabi Kefas, because I've known him for years. Through his teaching, we connected on social media. But then I had to go and meet him face to face. I had to go and see for myself, judge his spirit. And since I have met him, I found him to be a person of integrity. That is why I joined this group. So you're going to have to trust someone if you want to come to Africa as a diasporan. To try to go on your own is just leaving you vulnerable for people to prey on you. I've heard of people buying land, and when they come to possess it, there's 5 other people that's bought the same plot. Cons go on everywhere, not just in Africa. So don't make it seem like Africa is the
Everywhere.
only place that
Everywhere.
people are being conned. We have the biggest con man occupying the highest office in the land right now, or in January 20th or whenever that is going to be. The biggest con man.
Yeah.
How do you think he got where he is? By conning a lot of people. His
Exactly.
institute. So let's not make it seem like Africa is the worst place in the world. Anywhere you go, you're going to get conned, because then that's going to cause you to be reluctant. But all we say is do your due diligence. Turn over the sheets, look under the covers, check out the group, and you will see that this is a group that has your interest in mind. Because he owns land in Angola. That was one of the first questions that I asked him. Have you bought land in Angola? That's his ancestral home. Yes, he did. And now you could ask me, have I bought land in Angola? Yes, I have. Okay?
We are actually neighbors, eh?
Exactly. And
Direct neighbors in Angola.
And it's near the new international airport, which we're going to talk about. But there is a plan, a massive plan for a city of the future, I think it's called, that the Chinese are the ones who's partnering to build it. And when you go through, all you see is Chinese companies building stuff everywhere. Where are the Americans? Where are our people from the diaspora? Because I'm telling you, if we sleep on this, then Africa, where else can we say that this is our home that has all the resources that Africa has? But yet the other countries, they're not scrambling to get into Israel. They're not scrambling to get into America the poorer countries are. But the wealthy people, they're looking to invest in Africa because they don't want to lose. They're looking for a return on their money. And so if they see that coming from Africa, where's our mindset? So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you for that, Yabaran. Yes, thank you for that. And I know who I am. I am a man of integrity, a man of truth. What you see on YouTube, that's who I am. I'm not acting, I'm not playing a role. What you see, how you experience me on YouTube, that's actually who I am. Okay? I know who I am. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of truth. I don't like to deceive people. I don't like to steal. I don't like to, put people into darkness or into a situation that I myself don't want to be in. So, for that sister, please stop mentioning Pastor Mello. If you have complaints with Pastor Mello, deal it with him. I'm not Pastor Mello, and I have nothing to do with what happened with Pastor Mello. I understand that you were disappointed, you were duped, and whatnot, but that's not who we are here. So please, let's be done with it. Okay? Now, I understand that some people may have been deceived by others, like pastors, like church leaders or Israelite leaders, or there are many things happening in the world, but also in the diaspora. But that's not to say that because someone lied, the truth does not exist. That's not to say that because someone deceived me, that everyone is out there to deceive you. Okay? I've been here on YouTube for a while. I don't have to help you. All right? I don't have to help you. I have my own private lands. We are setting up different things in Angola. We have our business partners with whom we are, you know, orientating to do different things. So I don't need to help you, but I have a mandate from the Most High, the one who told me, bring my children back. Yes. I said, how? I'm not a millionaire. I don't have millions, billions to spend. And I prayed on it. I said, how can I bring the people back? What strategy can we use to bring them back? And the Most High gave me the answer. And I put a strategy together, and that has manifested itself in the organization called Angola Investment Group. So we started with the trips so that you can come and experience Angola for yourself, and also to meet with me so that you can judge me in person. Yeah, Byron has done it with his wife. Yes. And he is a close friend now of the family. We have seen each other twice. We are going to see each other for the third time, and we will be stick to each other until the end of time. But that's how things are. We are doing this because I had a mandate to help our people return, to have land, and to establish businesses, and to also assist them in getting citizenship so that they can stay on the continent. Not just you, but you, your wife, your partner, your children, and children's children. That's our strategy, so that you can build generational wealth on the continent. That's our strategy. So it's not just come and be part of this great thing we're doing, right? Diaspora community. We go much further. We are looking 10, 20, 30, 50 years ahead. Okay? That's what we're doing. So if I were you and you have been praying, oh, Nzambi Kongo, help me. How can I get to the continent? And you are listening to me right now. This is your answer. Okay? This is the Most High positioning you to connect. This is your answer. So take that into consideration and do something. Dare to trust the Most High. Dare. In the book of, I think it's John 14, Jesus was speaking to his disciple, and he said, you believe in God, and you do so correctly, but believe in me also. And he was speaking as a prophet. See? So you must believe in the prophet, in the leader who is before you, so you can prosper. As it is written also in the Old Testament scripture, I forgot the exact text, but it says, when you trust in the prophet, you will prosper. Okay? That's the way it is. Because a true prophet, a true Nabi, a true leader is there to serve the people, to make a way for the people. He has a vision how to execute the plans he has received or download from heaven. I have a vision. I have a strategy put in place to help you not only possess your own real estate, your own land, but to establish your own businesses that will serve you and your family forever. Yes, we have that strategy in place. So, yeah, just to give you an idea, okay, what we're doing and who I am. It's not my intention to steal and rob and plunder. The Mundele Kadian Pemba have done enough, right? So I'm not here to steal, because most of us, don't even have that kind of money, eh? Most of us. So we do things slowly, step by step. We come together, we put our finance together, we practice group economics, and guess what? Boom! We're there. What one hand cannot do, maybe two hands can make it possible. So the Most High said, "For I will cause their captivity," right? The Angola. I will cause the children of Angola, those who are in captivity, to return. You see that? So we must return. We must return. And he starts with, "Men shall buy land for money." So the money that you have right now, the Most High has blessed you to earn dollars, to earn euros. Use that blessing, use that money to invest in something that will last forever, that will serve you, your children, and grandchildren, and great grandchildren forever. So we're talking about generational blessing.
Can I add, Nabi, that
Yeah.
here in America in particular, the systems are built against us. The white man with the same or even less credit score can walk into a bank and get hundreds of thousands of dollars to initiate a business startup. You, as a black person with good credit, go into a bank, they're going to tell you you don't have enough collateral or your credit score, whatever reasons that they're going to give you. They
Mm-hmm.
redline our districts. Maybe you can get a small business loan from the SBA, but then I shared the story of a young sister who had opened up a boutique. She was the owner of the boutique, and a white lady came in, and she was looking for a pocketbook for her granddaughter. So she saw a pocketbook she liked, and then she saw a pair of shoes that would go well with the pocketbook, and I think she saw a third item that she addressed. And so as she was collecting these items and was coming to the cash register, so she said, "Oh, so how long have you been working here?" To the young lady. The young lady says, "No, this is my store. I own this." She says, "Oh, really? Oh, you're so young
Hmm.
to be an entrepreneur, but hey,
You
good
are?
for you." You know, but
Yeah.
by the way, I no longer want these items. You can put them all back. And she walks out.
Mm,
So the young lady, as she's putting her items back, she's in tears. She could not believe that just
mm,
because she found out, as long as she thought she worked there, she was okay because she knew her money would end up in the hands of the owner, which she thought was white. So, as black folks, I live in Florida, and I can tell you that I've ran into Hispanics they only hire their people. I've been into
mhm,
companies where I don't see a single black in sight, or if
mhm,
they're out washing cars or something. The same thing with whites. You put up a business, very few white people are going to support you, but you have a continent of 2.4 billion projected by 2050, and these young people are hungry. We discussed this while we were there, that the average police officer in Angola makes about 70 US dollars per month. Per month. These people are hungry, and so you come and you open up a business and you hire the
mm,
locals. They will work hard for you as long as you treat them right. And these kids are out there begging, I just want an opportunity. They're out there shining shoes. Can I clean you? Because they don't want, it's not that they want a handout, but they're looking for job opportunities. And so the Most High has blessed us to where some of us have the resources to start a business. And many businesses, almost any business idea that you can think of will work in Angola or on the continent. I saw an opportunity for a car wash. Many of the roads, when you get off the main roads, it's all dirt. So all the vehicles, it doesn't matter how much you wash it, you come out, you have all this red dirt all over your vehicle. What about if I had a car wash? They can just drive through car wash. You will make money. a delivery service. When we go, there's a young man by the name of Wilson who started off, I think, with delivering, and Nabi can correct me, with a delivery service, like kind of like a
Oh,
Uber
you're
Eats
right.
or something. And now he's got several. He's a multimillionaire at the age of what, about 39 years old. But he was here in America. He went to school in Michigan, and I think he said his mother had hid his passport, and he was looking to go back. And so when he couldn't, he said, I might as well stay here and start a business here. And now he's a multimillionaire. So the opportunities are there, family. And if it wasn't so, I would not be telling you so. I'm not a person. I'm not trying to con you into going to Angola, but we're saying, come and join with us and see for yourself. And you'll come back a changed person. Trust me when I tell you.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So let's share some images of the trip. And Chris Mati says today millions of black people will give millions of dollars to the Christian pastors. Just think what we could build in Africa with all that money. Yes, that's right. Invest your money in someone you trust, and someone you would like to follow, someone like me. Invest your money in a Bikefa. It's a good investment. I'm a spiritual leader. I'm a shepherd. I am anointed one. So if you want to invest some money in in good works, yes, in something that will truly help our people and build a future for our people in Angola, you should invest your money in Angola Investment Group with Nabi Kefa. Okay, and I'm not alone. Yeah, Baron is in my corner, and as you can see, my brother, he's the youngest one. Don't be mistaken. He's also there doing the work with me. Yeah, so here we are at the airport. It's the old airport. You can see the segurança who guard the parking areas. If you're wrongly parked, this guy on the left will tell you about it. So this is my younger brother. This is me, of course. And this was in Lobito. Yes, it was in Lobito, a hotel in Lobito, beautiful place. See if we can play. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Angola also looks like this. When you do a search on YouTube, Angola, is it safe? What is Angola like? There's a lot of negativity because, Kadiampemba, they don't want you to go there. But I'm telling you, a lot of Mundele Europeans are going to Angola. Chinese,
By the ocean. Just enjoying the scenery. Soaking up some sun. Let's see. Yeah. Really a nice ocean view amount, so you can see all along here. Stairs and places that you can just come and chill.
You see, where are the people? Where the people at? It's waiting for you. They should be packed with diaspora, right? Relaxing, enjoying, having dinner, lunch, whatever.
And how many miles or square meters of beachfront property is there in Angola, Nabi?
About 9,000 kilometers.
9,000 kilometers of beachfront property. And most of it don't look like this. A lot of it is just undeveloped. And you know what a property like this would go for here in America?
Like this.
Oh,
millions,
millions, tens of millions, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, this in the car. We were on the way to I don't remember. We were going somewhere.
We're going to the airport
Ah,
to get one of our associates.
Well, that's when they came to pick me up. They were heading to the airport to pick me up.
Elder Byron.
exactly.
Today. So we on our way
Yes, yes, yes.
to pick him up.
Yeah, that's right. We were on the way to get your Byron. Yeah, and now this is at it's the place of a European Portuguese. He has a resort, and this resort rests on a land of 17 hectares. Yeah, 17 hectares, and yeah, we were in negotiation with him to see if we can work together. You know, so this is his place. You see him there, right? Mundele, European Portuguese. He has been there for 20 plus years.
And he wants to
He has
sell.
been there for 20 plus years.
Mhm.
But a brother is scared to visit. Doesn't make any sense.
And look at what he's built. And he just
Look what
came
he
as
has
a
built.
contractor. He came as a contractor. And look what he's built.
Yeah, we need to change.
Mm.
We need to change our mindset. Yes, there he is, discussing, negotiating, etc., etc. This is. Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes. This is near the New International Airport. Let me see. It's actually at this location over here. It was one of the available, hectares that we went to see. One of the potential lands for a development project that we went to see. So we can play the video. As you can see, there are some people, some poor people who live there. And they sell some basic stuff along the way. Actually, look at the road. The road is okay, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You see the road? The roads are okay. The main roads are very good in Angola. Often it's just a question of maintenance. So my younger brother went there just to bless them with something small. And at this place we are, I think 80 to 90 kilometers, 90 meters above water level. So it's a bit elevated. So it's funny. He went to, you see, some people live like this. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
These people are very poor. They have nothing. Yeah, they just live like this. They're having whatever they have, and they're happy. So he gave them some blessings. Look at that. Look how happy he is. He runs away. Like it's mine. He gave me dollars. I'm rich.
And I will say this: that was what impressed me about Nico. That everywhere he goes, you can see that he really cares about the people, because even young people are coming up to him. And one young man, when we were there the last time, he had a little box that he just shined shoes with, and he came over to us and says, "Hey, he just needs some money to buy some more polish because he was out of the polish." And Nico stood there, gave him some money. He ran across the street and bought the polish and bought it back to show him that that's what I needed. I'd use the money so that he can continue to shine shoes to make a couple of. I mean, it breaks my heart when I see that, because Africa should not be like that. a continent with the richest mineral reserves under its soil, but with the poorest people, which is what the Mundele has done. But the Bible said in the last days, he's going to raise up leaders or shepherds after his own heart. And so when I meet up with people like Nabi and with Nico, and I see their heart, I see that they have a heart for the people. And that's what's lacking in many of the African leaders who would sell their country out to these Mondeles, the French, and because their pockets are fat. They have houses in Brussels and all over the place because they're being bribed by these people to allow their companies, their multinational companies, to come there and to exploit the resources. But if you follow the news on what's happening, you're having many of these younger leaders that are kicking these people out, saying, no, you leave. Y'all have been here, exploiting us, exploiting our resources. We're tired of you. We want to renegotiate your contracts. They're canceling mining agreements. So you see a sea change happening in Africa. And so if you want to be a part of that, then the time to get in is now. Because as the demand grows, the prices are going to go up. The new international airport, when it goes into full operation, land around there is going to be much more expensive to buy. So we're encouraging people to do so now while prices are still relatively low.
Yes, exactly. Now is the time. That's the other side of Angola. We are in a shopping center. You have shops, you have restaurants, and you can sit and eat or you can shop. The European American shops over there. Look at that KFC. You see it? KFC is in Africa. It's in Angola. Incredible. Yeah. Nice. Now this is where we stay. No, and this lady is Miss Angola. Yeah, she's Miss International Angola 2024. We had a conversation to see if there can be something that we can do to promote Angola together. Oh my God. Yeah, I believe it was a long flight.
Yes.
We had some activities already. We met with some interesting people. And today, we're going to visit our plots. And we're also going to visit the new area. We'll do some negotiation and see if we can close the deal. How is your stay thus far?
It's been enjoyable. The accommodations are good, and of course the food is always excellent here at the restaurant. And we've also been exploring our own culinary skills, and so yeah, it's always a good time. Anytime I get to go with brothers. And the meetings, they were really very informative. The two gentlemen we met with yesterday. So yeah, I'm having a good time. The journey is just beginning.
Mm-hmm. And how is it to be here for the second time?
It's something I've been looking forward to, and it's my wife is jealous that she was able to come this time. But we're on a mission. We as much as I'm here to enjoy Angola, the beauty of Angola, but we know that we're here to try to establish the things that we have purpose in our heart to do. So this is more of a business trip for me this time around. But yeah, it's going good so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First time you came to explore, right? Just to see and taste and feel the land, the culture, the people. But this time is to focus on the need and service, what you can establish here as a business.
Exactly.
So that's great. That's a step forward.
Exactly.
And so, like we said, today we are going to visit our plots, and we're also going to visit the new area and do some negotiation
and see if we can close the deal. So it's an exciting day. Very excited. And so stay tuned for more. I'm Nzambi Kefas. I'm here with Byron in our beautiful Angola.
Angola.
And we are building the Angola of the future. And you can be part of that. We invite you to be part of this great movement. We need to come and we need to build. The two sticks must join together to build the future. The two sticks are, of course,
Diaspora and the local, the natives.
the natives. And in biblical terms,
That's the northern and the southern.
the northern and the southern kingdom. Ingeta, thank you.
Yeah.
Just
No,
so
that was
it's the trip. The trip is from the 17th to the 27th of February 2025. Correct? I don't have the flyer here. In front.
yes, in February indeed. I don't have the flyer. I can let me see. I think it's let me see. Let me look. Let me have a look.
I think it was the 17th to the 26th, but I'm trying to find the flyer. I know I had saved it.
Yeah, 17 to the 27th.
7th to 27th. Yeah, that's what I
Yes,
thought.
just let me share, download.
By the way, I told Nabi that a part of the plot development that for the land that was acquired on this trip is going to be a business center. And I already told them reserve one of the storefronts for me because I will be opening up a Jamaican restaurant there in that one of those storefronts. And so, there are opportunities. And what somebody had asked, if in the consultation, do you talk about possible business ideas? And I mentioned, yes, that's a part of the consultation. So, yeah, there's a ton of businesses that you can start that can make money.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. A lot. Any business you can imagine will give you money. It has potential, to create wealth if well executed. Yeah. So the trip is February 17th to 27th, 10 days. If you're interested, you can email to info@angolainvestmentgroup.com. Yeah, so we will look into investment opportunities. Of course, we explore Angola, and we will also have time and moments of relaxation to enjoy the climate of Angola, the beauty, the food.
Mhm.
In Angola, every time we're there, the food was great.
Mhm.
Now, as you can see, the price is higher than the previous trips. That is because in Angola also things are becoming more expensive, especially accommodation and transport. Okay, so every time you skip, you risk paying even more. So it's better for you to just stop hesitating and just come join us and enjoy with us, see the land. Program is a 10-day program. We have a cultural excursion, field trip, investment meetings, real estate, land purchase, seat exploration. Now, previous time we were not able to go to Musulu. We were so busy. We have free exploration if you want to explore Angola here and there, but of course, we don't allow you to go too far. And entertainment, there is entertainment in Angola for those who want to experience some ambiance, Angolan ambiance. No problem at all. Yellow fever is mandatory. Airfare tickets is not included in the price. Dinner is also not included in the price, but it's very cheap. Lunch cheap, dinner cheap. You cannot compare it with anything you have in America. America's too expensive. Europe is expensive, but to have a meal in Angola, it's between 3 to 8 USD dollars. You can have a good meal, lunch or dinner. That's it. So save the date for yourself. Once again, if you need more information, you can email to info@angolainvestmentgroup.com. Yeah, here we were on the way to Wambo. Yeah, it's on the way to Wambo. Look at those mountains. Okay, look at those mountains. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, I'm not able to zoom. Oh, that's unfortunate. But you can see the mountains there in the back. You can see the mountains. We will surround it. Very beautiful. Look at that. You see that? Mountains. Africa's full of mountains.
Mhm.
It's the land of mountains. All over the place. All over. Very beautiful. There are no mountains like this in Israel.
Mm-mm.
Israel has small hills. Beautiful. You see mountains in the distance, right there. Yeah. Hey, that was a bump.
Yeah, that was a magic carpet ride. I'm telling you, the brother was good at driving. You had to have a little nerves of steel because we made a trip that would
Yeah.
normally take about 7 hours and maybe 5. So he was booking.
Mm-hmm. Now look at this. Look at the trees, left and right. Beautiful, eh? It's Angola. It's Angola. It seems like you're in the Caribbean or something, or even Europe, but it's Angola. Beautiful, beautiful. Kitoko. Angola é muito lindo. Angola is beautiful. It's in the car.
And if I'm remembering, what one of our associates, Victor, told us that only about 20% of the land is utilized and is concentrated around the city areas like Luanda. But when you get to the outskirts, it's all just miles and miles, hectares and hectares of land just wide open.
Yes. Angola is very large, and just a small percentage of the land is being utilized as living spaces.
Mhm.
It is a population around 36 million at this moment, growing by 3% per year. It's very large, very large. Angola's space is around 1,246,700 square kilometers. So that's huge. So 1.2 million, let's say 1.2 million square meters. Square kilometers, sorry. Square kilometers. Okay, now this is also still on the way to Wambo. You can see the mountains at the back. Yeah, look at in the front of us. Look at the mountain. So we're driving towards the mountain. Beautiful. You have to see this in real life to appreciate the beauty. Insane. and coupled with the temperature, the nice climate. Nzambi.
That's what I was talking about, the red soil, and you see that all over. And I Googled it because I wanted to know what made that color so red. We have it in Jamaica also, but it's iron content within the soil itself.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a stop on the way.
Enjoying the trip. Lovely countryside, beautiful drive, having a great time. Potholes, though, you've not seen potholes, so you see potholes in Africa. Actually, that's not true. But you got to be careful driving some of these roads if you don't know what you can tear up your car. You blew out a tire on the way here. But aside from that, beautiful weather, beautiful countryside, very scenic. So I'm having a great time.
You get that. Yeah, that's the pilot over there, in green.
Yep.
This guy's dangerous.
Oh man.
Man, the way he drives,
Yep.
And it is in Wambo, as we arrive in Wambo. Yeah, it's the.
And that was the hometown of Victor, one of our associates.
Yes, hometown of Victor. That's right.
And he's also got some money.
I always do that. Oh, okay. Yes, this is the front side of his 100 hectare land for development, right? This is the front side.
So you can see the columns for the school, the technical school that he's built.
Yes, exactly. Over here is the foundation has been laid for a technical school. Yes, school that he has been building, is building. Yes, and this is the project he has for the 100 hectare. As you can see, it's the plot divisions are there. The infrastructure is already laid out. So if you want land in Wambo, it's it's possible. We have people over there.
This one, yeah. Oh, but that's here. We entered here, right?
So what do you guys say? Do you like what you see? Yeah, those in the chat, those who are watching us, still watching us. Do you like what you see? Well, it's Angola.
By the way, someone said, look at those trees. Victor, the same guy who owns this 100 hectares, he also has a 500 hectare, if I believe that was the number, of forestry.
5,000.
5,000 of forestry that he's going to use the land for timber and also some of the trees to make charcoal. So that's another business that he's into. We asked him, how many businesses do you have? I forget, he said something like 20 something. I don't know how many, but he has quite a few businesses.
Yeah, he has a few. He has a few businesses, and he's making good money.
He's very humble.
Yeah, he's very humble guy.
These guys, even though they got money, they don't go around, I've got money, I'm the boss. They were very humble, and that's what was really impressive to me.
Look at the sunset.
Yeah.
Those sunsets in Angola are different. Yeah, beautiful. Now this is where we are. You see the new international airport. Yes. The new international airport is right here. So from the new international airport, to where we have our project, our land for the diaspora community. The whole red area, that's where we are, the red area. Yeah, so it's 26 kilometers from the New International Airport. Yes, 26 kilometers from the New International Airport. So we are here. That's where we are with our project, the diaspora community. So if you want to be close to the New International Airport, you know where you need to be. Okay. Now we believe that as soon as the New International Airport goes operational for commercial flights, it will create a lot of traffic. Okay, a lot of traffic. People will need a place to go, a place to sleep, a place to to relax, a place to eat, a place to have fun. Now, when we are close, very close, near the New International Airport, so there's a lot you can do in that area. It offers a variety of business opportunities, what you can do. And also we are at the main road. Yes, the entrance into our gated community, and the diaspora gated community is at the main road. So that connects you directly with the main road. If you want to go to Luanda, or you want to go down to Wambo or Benguela, you can go left or right. Yes. Okay. Now here we are at a factory. And it's a stone factory where he makes bricks. As you can see, they make bricks from clay, and the clay is just in the ground. They just dig it up, and they give it a form, and they burn it in the oven. And the oven is right there. This is the oven, right there. It's one of his businesses. And this was, yeah, Byron was talking about. It is what he was talking about. This associate of ours, he has 5,000 hectares of forest. Yes, and he's using the trees for wood. He's also exporting to India, I believe. And the rest is being burned up to create charcoal. Yeah, and he's making money. Africa has a lot of wood. Now, everything that is being cut is also being planted. Okay, so there is a strategy to replace whatever tree you uproot or cut down, so that the trees do not disappear from Angola. So there is a strategy in place, actually mandatory from the government, to plant. For each tree you remove, you have to plant one to replace. Is this a video? Yes.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
But to answer the question, someone was asking if there's fresh water where the land is that's being sold. There's three ways of getting water, either from a well, either from municipal if it's available in the area, or from storage tanks that you have to have filled on a weekly or so on basis. Not everywhere in Angola you're going to be able to dig a well, but there's always a way. That's one thing about technology. There's always a way around it. Like they'll tell you, well, the power goes out a lot. Well, you have solar panels, you have generators, and you learn to listen. If we were dragged butt naked basically from the continent, kicking and screaming, and we survived. All right. Many of us, I grew up in Jamaica. I didn't even know I was poor because we always found a way to eat off the land, to survive off the land. And so we can adapt. And because of modern technology, a lot of the creature comforts that we have here in the States is there. Telecommunications, somebody mentioned they wanted to start a telecommunications company. Great idea. There are areas in Africa that has no telecommunications. towing company. I mean, you go on and on and on. There's many business opportunities. Construction, if you're into construction, you can do well in on the continent.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to be involved in real estate, of course, join us. That's what we're doing. We're building Angola of the future. Come and join Angola Investment Group. Join with me, Nzambi Kefas, and join with Byron. And let's do great things together. Reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Yeah. Huge mountain over there.
Yeah,
that's a giant.
Trust me, it's
giant
much
butt.
bigger than what it looks like in the picture. It's a huge mountain.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
It reminds me of the one in Arizona where First Encounters of the Third Kind was filmed. It's got that kind of top plateau. Yes, an unusual shaped mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Benguela. Yes, it's a hotel in Benguela. This is where we spend the night. With African team.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very nice hotel. It's called it's a hotel of 100 cities, I think. It's outside. We went to, I think it was at the way back, when we had dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was at the way back. We decided to walk just to, enjoy the weather at night. Very nice. This is the hotel. See, by day. Very nice. And this is
Not Eduardo. That's
you
oh
forgot his name, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Osvaldo, right?
Osvaldo, yeah.
Yeah, his name is Osvaldo on the Fire Force.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a factory. In his factory, he has several machines that can give him another 3 factories. And he's into Fire Force. That is, fire prevention, right?
Yeah, fire prevention equipment.
For large companies or storehouses. And he's also a metal worker, so he can do anything with metal. He can create any structure. Yeah. And he told us that he's able to build a complete warehouse, yes, with the roofing and everything. And where we are, near the international airports, actually a great opportunity to build warehouses over there, which you can rent to businesses where they can store their goods. Because the Angolan, the new international airport in Angola is now open for cargo. Now, everyone who is shipping cargo would want to have a warehouse nearby where they can store their goods. And so building a warehouse over there in that area is actually a good business. So this is Osvaldo. Yeah.
And the building where he's in right now, the metalworking building, he has to bring power from across the street because it can't run off a generator because of the demands of the machinery that he has.
Yes,
but he has also a huge crane that runs across the ceiling that it lifts up to 10 tons, I think it was.
Yes.
And so he says, I can build an entire fire truck inside. That warehouse is huge. He can build an entire fire truck, and he's got a contract to supply fire prevention services with one of the hugest companies in that area. He's already done 2 buildings. He built the piping system himself, or the sprinkler system. That's what his company does. And so he's looking for investors also to help to bring the power from across the street to the warehouse, that building there. Then he's got another one in South Africa. And so the pipes and stuff that he built for this commercial complex, he had to bring it from South Africa to here. But he's already done 2 systems in place, and he said that he's made a couple of $1 million off just those 2 systems, and he's got like 15 more buildings to go.
Exactly.
So that's the kind of opportunity. I'm into fire service for 20 years, and I can see doing a consultation. In fact, one of the guys suggested that. Said, man, you should do consultation because the fire protection service over there and the emergency response service over there is not up to par as far as we're concerned, knowing here in the diaspora. So they can use help in organizing, structuring a pre-hospital emergency response system, which that's my forte. Teachers, if you're an educator, many of the children there, they speak Portuguese. And so, they need to learn a foreign language. We're talking about possibly putting a school together where they're taught English and, that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying the opportunities are endless.
Mm-hmm. Benguela. Okay, that's the port. Yes, in front of us is the port in Lobito, in the Lobito corridor port. Beautiful place. Yeah, and it's actually close to the hotel that we showed in the beginning. It's also there in Lobito. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's this hotel where we were.
The big boss. So this is nice.
Yes, of course. Food, opportunity in abundance. Yes, restaurant, restaurant or a club restaurant, anything with food is good. People eat, agriculture, producing food, preparing food, anything with food is good. Yeah, marketing should be done there in Angola. With marketing, Angola is also technological. There are people who have knowledge of technology. They use technology, social media, yes, to do the marketings, to promote the businesses. I can just say, come and witness it for yourself. Yes, and you will see and experience what we are saying here.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 4G in Angola, okay? 4G, 5G. Look at this. Look at this. See, so when the Bible says Jerusalem, the land of the Israelites, a mountainous land, it's Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It there's no other way. It's Africa. Oh, we're done. We're done. That's the end.
Okay.
That's the end. So people, those who have been here from beginning to end, Matondo, thank you. Obrigado for being here. And we hope you learned something. We started with a history lesson. We entered into the Bible. We looked into the word Angola in the Bible. We are told to always go to the elders and to ask them, who are we? Where do we come from? Yeah, so that we know who we are. Because when we trust in the oppressor and those who enslaved us to tell us the truth, you will not. You will just be deceived. Okay, they will not tell you the truth. You will just be deceived. So yes, we are here. I am here. I am back. I was gone for a while. I was also very busy. Even when we returned from Angola, I needed to do some things. I was going up and down. Also dealing with several events here for the diaspora, Angolan diaspora here in Europe. So I was quite busy, but we're back, and I will try to do teaching, like I said, once a week, have a live broadcast. And if you have any questions concerning Angola or concerning what I teach, of course, you can always email me. If you have questions concerning our trip, concerning our diaspora community, what we are building, you can direct them to info@angolainvestmentgroup.com. And if you have questions concerning my teachings, you can always address me by email to, let me put it in the chat, apostle gmail.com. Okay, you can send me an email at that email address. So Matondo, any last word, Byron, as we close?
No, just glad to see you back on live, Nabi, and for those who have joined us, thank you guys. And thank you guys for the positive comments. We want you to build your trust, and trust is something that's not easily earned. And I know in the light of some of the people who has had a negative, don't let that discourage you. We are here to help. I'm here in the diaspora just like you. And I've expressed my concerns to Nabi. And, if I didn't think he was a person of integrity, I would not be here. Trust me, I'm too old to be playing these games, and I don't have a lot of time or money to waste. So I'm here with these brothers because I know their hearts. So thank you guys for joining us. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this presentation.
Yes, Ingeta. Thank you, Byron, also to you for being here. Matondo. Nzambi Ampungu, may the Most High bless you. And of course, you, Bena Kongo, may the Most High bless you. Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo, the Creator, be with you. The clouds of witnesses surround you, and bless the works of your hand. Until we'll meet again, I am Nabi Kefas, and may Congo reign. Ingeta.
Ingeta.